Fun Shark Run is a cooperative board game for kids aged 5 to 13. It can be played by 2 to 4 players and has 3 levels to complete. Going through your great-grandmother's storage chest, you find a map and along with it a letter explaining how the family's treasure sank deep into the sea after the ship transporting them met with a storm. Play to retrieve all gems, but beware, there's a shark lurking close to the wreck. Collect all the gems before the shark gets to your boat to win the game. This is a cooperative game, meaning that all the players play together as a team against the shark. Before playing for the first time, punch out all the components from the punch-out board and carefully assemble the board like this. First, attach the 2 side panels to the bottom floor panel and then carefully insert the front and back panels into the grooves all the way through. Connect the 4 game boards like this and place the board in the right corner here. Turn all the gem tokens green side facing up, mix them up and place 1 gem on each gem step on the board. Keep the spare gem aside and keep the 2 swift flipper tokens next to the board. This here is the shark part. Place the shark on the first step of the shark part. Up to 4 players can play this game and I'll be setting up a 4-player game in this video. Next, let the players choose their play pieces and have them place the play pieces on the starfish-shaped steps, which are the starting positions. This game can be played in 3 levels, and for the first level, keep the block tokens aside. Depending on the number of players, remove the number of shark cards shown in the table in the rulebook from the game. Since we are setting up a 4-player game, remove 3 shark cards from the deck, shuffle the remaining cards thoroughly and deal 3 cards to each player face down like this. Place the remaining cards close to the board so that it's accessible to all players. The objective of the game is for the players to team up and collect all the gems before the shark reaches the board. So, how do players move? During your turn, choose a card from your hand to play. You may pick any one of your 3 cards. Perform the action in the card and restock by picking up a card from the closed deck. Before we proceed, let's quickly take a look at the different kinds of cards and what they let you do. These are movement cards. When you play one of these, you must move your play piece in any direction by as many steps as shown on the card. Note, you can move from one step to another only if they are connected by a green or yellow seaweed connector. Starfish card. When you play this card, you can jump to any unoccupied starfish step. Shark card. This is how the shark moves. Whenever you get or pick this card, you must play it immediately to move the shark towards the board by 1 step and draw another card from the center pile. That is, at any point during the game, including at the beginning, if a player gets a shark card, they have to play it, move the shark, and restock their hand. Lucky card. Play this card to either move the shark back by 1 step on its path or pick any 1 gem without going to that step. Now, let's go back to the game. The oldest player starts first and the turns go clockwise. Note, you may choose to keep the cards open for a game with younger kids, while we recommend you have the cards closed for slightly older kids. After the initial 3 cards are dealt, each player should check them to see whether they have a shark card in their hand. If they do have a shark card, they have to play the card immediately, move the shark by 1 step, and take a card from the center pile. This is done by every player for every shark card they have. Whenever a player ends his or her turn on a gem, they get to take that gem and place it on the board. Remember, you can only collect a gem when you end your turn on a step with a gem and not just pass through it. Also, you cannot land or pass through another player. Swift flippers. 2 of the gem tokens have the swift flipper sign. Whenever a player collects a gem, turn it over to see whether it has this image. If yes, that player gets a swift flipper token, which gives them the power to move 1 additional step while playing any movement card for the rest of the game. For example, if that player plays a number 3 movement card after receiving the swift flipper, He or she could move either 3 or 4 steps, as the Swift Flipper gives them the option to move one extra step. If one player collects both Swift Flippers, he or she may still only move one additional step. When the cards in the closed center pile get over, shuffle the cards from the discard pile and continue the game. Endgame. Your team wins the game if you and your teammates collect all the gems before the shark gets into the board. If not, the shark wins. Note, after the final step on the shark path, the shark would need one more step to get onto the board. Rules for level 2 are the same as level 1, except that you now need to add the block tokens to the game. You must place the block tokens on any 2 yellow seaweed connectors, thereby blocking any 2 paths. Players cannot pass through a blocked path. Follow the table titled Level 3 on the rulebook and remove as many shark cards depending on the number of players. Once you have mastered all 3 levels, to make it even more challenging, keep updating the starting position of the shark by 1 step each time you start a new game and see if you can still keep winning. That's it. We hope you have fun playing together and winning against the shark.